Hello students and welcome back to our Analyzing English video series. In this fourth video in our series on Analyzing English, we're going to cover some vocabulary words ending in either full or less. So kind of full, like you're full, versus you have less. So we're going to talk about three words in this case: thoughtful, thoughtless, then we have careful, careless, tactful, tactless, and we're going to talk about the base words here of thought, care, and tact. And we're going to discuss the why of the word ending of full and less, how they're opposites or antonyms of each other, and how we use them in separate sentences to express their opposite meanings. So I'm glad to have you. My name is Ben with English from A to Z, and let's get started. Let's first talk about the why of full and less as English word endings. When we think of these English words that end in full, we should think of when they have a characteristic or a personal quality that is present, and you can add to the quality itself, such as having tact, having care, having a thought. We want to add full to the end of that word to describe when the characteristic or the personal quality is present in that person, and we can add it to the quality itself. Now, if you compare it to a preposition, if you compare the word ending of full, to a preposition, such as before the word, it most aligns to with that quality or characteristic or trait, or of that quality, characteristic, or trait. Now, when we compare it to vocabulary words ending in less, it means that the quality, characteristic, or personality trait is lacking or does not exist at all to begin with. I want to make clear that full and less are opposite word endings or antonyms, but tend to be used with the same word in the English language. But they're not used together in the same sentence. They're used in different sentences and often have opposite meanings. And we're going to cover three of those words that I mentioned of tact, care, and thought with those word endings. Let's continue. Tactful and tactless. Now, tact is the noun or base word here, meaning to display or show awareness or some sensitivity in dealing with other people or in handling difficult issues. Tactful indicates that someone has that innate tact and is able to use it in social situations with ease. Tactless indicates that some person or any person in general has no sensitivity or awareness of how their feelings or their behavior affects other people and remain ignorant of that fact. So tactless is the opposite of tactful. I'm going to give some examples here. Joe was tactful in not bringing up politics or religion with his family members during Thanksgiving dinner because he did not want to upset anyone. Politics or religion are sensitive subjects at the dinner table, especially on a holiday like Thanksgiving, and Joe didn't want to bring it up with family members, showing that he had some sensitivity with regards to social situations, and Joe handled it with ease. Now let's compare to Dorothy. Dorothy is tactless for not calling her mother to ask about her skin condition and continuing to ignore her calls because of a minor argument they had a month ago. Now, Dorothy's tactless because she has no sensitivity to what her mother's going through with her skin condition, and she has no awareness of how that behavior or feelings toward her mother affects her mother or other people into her family, and she's ignorant of the fact that she's tactless. So Dorothy here is tactless, while Joe is tactful. So you can see the difference here between someone who has that tact, is tactful, and someone who is tactless and doesn't really have that quality. So let's continue. Careful and careless. Care is not a noun, it's an adjective. But the care is the base word, shows that you show attention or you have thought. I'll talk about that more later. You have a thought towards thinking about someone else or a group of people. It can also be used to take care of yourself by being cautious and safe with what life could throw your way if you're not careful. Careful indicates when someone such as yourself or others is able to take care of themselves as well as other people and are able to avoid or mitigate potential risks to themselves by being either safe or healthy or both. Careless refers to when someone does not have any regard for anyone but him or herself. They put themselves at risk. They could be someone who is reckless and dangerous and does not exercise any caution in their life, and they don't take care of themselves. Here are some examples. Tina was careful in wearing her seatbelt before she began to drive to her parents' house. Even before Tina left her apartment or her house, she was wearing her seatbelt. And George, on the other hand, is reckless for how he would speed down the road over the limit of what is permissible or lawful, another word with full at the end, and is careless about whether he gets a speeding ticket for driving that fast. So he's both reckless in not caring about following the speed limit and is dangerous in that regard. And he also is careless because he doesn't care about whether he gets a speeding ticket. It doesn't matter to him. So Tina is safe before she even begins to drive, while George is the opposite. As we talked about, careful and careless are opposites, such as tactful and tactless. Thoughtful and thoughtless to continue. Thought as a noun is the base word, and it's about we all have thoughts, or we think. We all think, we all have thoughts. We can think about ourselves, and we can think about other people or animals or our lives in general. If you are thinking each day, you're going to have dozens or hundreds or thousands of thoughts that will go through your head. Thoughtful, with the full ending, is about having those thoughts, but also having those thoughts for other people, consideration for other people, and being considerate of who they are. You could also be giving them your attention, your time, and your care in your gestures and in how you spend time with them. Thoughtless, with the less ending, is the opposite, by being only selfish in your thoughts for yourself mainly, and not being considerate of other people. You can also do risky or dangerous actions or activities by expressing yourself freely without considering potential consequences for your careless thoughts when you don't take care and when you do risky or dangerous things. Here are some examples. Johnny remembered to get thoughtful kinds of gifts for each of his family members this holiday season by thinking of what they might need to be healthier, happier, or make them feel joyful with what he gifted to them, such as someone needing a bike to go to school, someone wanting a toy that they really enjoy playing with, or maybe they have a game they really like. So that's kind of those thoughtful gestures that you think about, not just about yourself, but about other people. And you're having consideration, in this case, getting them a gift they really like. We're giving them your time, your attention, and your care. Now, Joey here is often reprimanded or disciplined by his teachers in school for being thoughtless in not raising his hand before being called on to ask or answer a question, leading him to interrupt the teacher and his fellow students often. He doesn't raise his hand, he's not respectful of his teachers by interrupting them, and he's not respectful of his fellow classmates by not waiting to ask or answer a question. So that's a thoughtless kind of behavior. When you're selfish by thinking only of yourself and you're not considering other people, and you express yourself freely without considering potential consequences. And that's why Joey is often reprimanded or disciplined by his teachers for not raising his hand and for interrupting both them and his fellow students. So thank you so much for watching. I know that was a lot in terms of these three words, but I really wanted you to get a sense of how full and less are used in English as word endings. We covered a lot, including the why we use these word endings, how they're antonyms or different from each other. I gave you different examples of how full and less are used in different sentences, and we covered the base words of tact, care, and thought, and how they relate to this word ending, or these word endings, I should say. So thanks again for watching. Please check out our other great YouTube videos from learning the entire English alphabet from A to Z, to also fixing your English grammatical or sentence errors to improve your English language skills. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button to follow us. The algorithm should help if you like this video. If you want to be recommended other videos that I've done, hit the subscribe button as well to follow us here on YouTube on our channel, English from A to Z. If you have any questions or would like to subscribe to our official newsletter, please go to our website, www.englishfromatoz.com/newsletter. Thanks so much for liking this video, subscribing, just watching and learning with us as we go through these Analyzing English videos. And I hope to see you soon again for another topic. Thanks again and take care. Bye-bye.